Recent portrayals of Spider-Man emphasize a specific kind of fantasy, extreme physical freedom and absolute godlike capability. He moves through the city with friction, possessing the power to intervene in any crisis and the agility to escape any consequence. But this version of the character also lives in a vacuum. His inner circle has been erased, his friends are gone. He sits high above the city, entirely alone in the rain, lacking the one thing his abilities can't manufacture, a human connection to regulate his nervous system. We are taught to treat this state of total, solitary independence as the ultimate objective. Modern success is often defined by financial invulnerability and the ability to operate without needing a single soul. We position complete self-reliance as the trophy at the end of the race. Yet this definition of success ignores a basic biological reality. Freedom, wealth, and status are merely tools. Without another person to witness your life and anchor your emotional state, these tools have no direction. This is why many who reach their goals find themselves standing in empty apartments, feeling a hollow, persistent emptiness. They achieved the independence they were promised, but they lost the context that makes that independence meaningful. Absolute capability without connection is a sterile victory. It creates a vacuum where the very strength you built becomes the boundary that isolates you from the world. To survive the sheer scale of our environment, we have to build internal systems that make existence feel manageable. We aren't designed to process the world's chaos without a framework. This framework can be viewed as an architecture of fulfillment, a four-stage developmental sequence that addresses our most basic needs. Level 1 is independence. Money is the common medium here, but it's just the base layer. It provides the baseline operational freedom required to move through the world without being at the mercy of others for survival. Level 2 is regulation. As social animals, we require friends to serve as external stabilizers. Simply talking to another person helps us process stress and distribute the emotional weight of living. Level 3 is the special connection. This is the search for a committed partner to help construct a small world. It's a private sanctuary designed to provide consistent security, regardless of how loud or chaotic the outside world becomes. Level 4 is nurturing. Once that small world is stable, we have an innate drive to sustain it by caring for something outside ourselves, whether through parenting, mentorship, or even the simple act of keeping a pet. This structure functions as a biological buffer, translating the raw entropy of life into a sequence of safe, manageable connections. Because this small world is so difficult to build and so easy to lose, society has surrounded it with behavioral guardrails. We've developed countless rules about career paths, social etiquette, and relationships to keep people from sabotaging their own stability. But for those prone to overthinking, these protective rules don't provide a sense of safety. Instead, they create a landscape of constant, low-level anxiety. This produces a specific kind of perfectionist. They follow every instruction and respect every boundary, but they do it out of a paralyzing fear that one wrong move will destroy the life they are trying to build. They become so obsessed with protecting their theoretical future that they stop living in the present. They sacrifice their curiosity and their willingness to experiment because they view any risk, no matter how small, as a threat to their long-term security. The result is a life defined by inaction. They stand frozen at a crossroads, looking at the maps and the signs, too terrified to take a single step in any direction for fear of taking the wrong one. When rules are used to avoid failure rather than to enable happiness, they cease to be a protective net. They become a cage, and the lock is held by the person inside. We have spent centuries burying our simple biological needs under layers of status, politics, and historical trauma. We treat our fulfillment as a complex puzzle that requires a specific, sophisticated solution. But if you strip away the titles and the modern metrics of success, you find a very clear baseline. Beneath the noise, we all possess the same nervous systems. Regardless of wealth or status, every human shares the same primal requirements: the freedom to exist, friends to share the experience, a partner to build a home, and something to nurture. The complexity we've added is often a distraction. Living according to the fear of breaking arbitrary rules is a choice to remain in the cage. In the end, the path forward is the one Peter Parker has to take. He has to decide to try again. He has to be willing to build a small world, despite the knowledge that it might not last forever. Fulfillment is found by stepping out of that self-imposed isolation. It requires finding the people who stabilize you and choosing to live in the present, rather than spending your life guarding an imaginary future.